Monday blessings to all of you. I hope that you started your day strong, encouraged, motivated. And so I just wanted to share a message of encouragement to be strong and courageous. These words come from Joshua 1:9. I began studying the book of Joshua just a few days ago, and it's a very beautiful it's a very beautiful book. It's a very inspiring, very encouraging. And so just a little background on what is happening in the book of Joshua. So um, Joshua used to work alongside with Moses um, in the Old Testament. But then the leadership was carried on to Joshua, and Joshua was now going to be the one who was going to lead the Israelites into the promised land. Remember, it was promised to Moses, but because of Moses' disobedience and rebellion against the Lord, he did not allow Moses to cross over to the promised land. But now Joshua um, had that responsibility, and Joshua was the one that helped the Israelites get into the promised land. And so be strong and courageous. Sometimes when you see a particular word, whether it be in the throughout the Bible or throughout a book or throughout anything, it's an emphasis. It means that, you know, the God or the author really want to emphasize that. And so in the first chapter of Joshua, we actually see be strong and courageous 3 times. And so that just tells me that he was really um, getting those words out. He was really trying to have Joshua, just understand that God was with him, and the Lord's presence was the reason for Joshua's courage. Do not be afraid or discouraged, for the Lord your God is with you wherever you go. Be strong. In Psalms 31:24 it says, be strong and let your heart be courageous, all you who put your hope in the Lord. And being strong isn't sometimes just physical strength. It just means binding something, a, a grit. Courageous means be alert, firm. Don't be discouraged means don't be broken down with fear. And in life, sometimes we face difficulties, we face trials, we face pain, we face fear, we encounter circumstances in our life that they make us afraid. But just like the Lord was telling Joshua, you need to be strong and courageous. You have to be confident that I'm going to help you defeat your enemies. I'm going to help you defeat the obstacles that are going to prevent you from entering the promised land. And the source of Joshua's strength, it lied within the courage that was coming from the Lord. And sometimes God tells us during our trials, during our difficulties, during our circumstances, during our pain, I am with you. Be strong and courageous. I will help you. I will help you crossed over, just like the Israelites. They had to cross the Jordan River to get over to the promised land. But sometimes in that span, sometimes in that maybe it just seemed like it's just around the corner. It's just on the other side. And sometimes that distance may seem small. It may seem like, oh, okay, it's doable. But then there are many things that can happen during that um, distance or that short amount of distance or time. It can seem like something so impossible. It can seem like something so forever. But the Lord tells us, be strong and courageous. Keep going. I am with you. Keep going. And sometimes in our trials and sometimes in our most difficult moments, we cry out to God and we ask Him, are you there? Are you with me? Are you really going to get me through to the other side? Are you really going to help me conquer this? Are you going to really help me move that mountain? Because from my perspective, from my human point of view, that mountain is immovable. Crossing to that other side of that river, crossing to the other side of this circumstance, it's impossible. And humanly speaking, sometimes things do seem impossible. Sometimes things do seem like they're not going to happen. You know, how am I going to do this? I personally have encountered many difficult circumstances, many pains, many losses. But the Lord has always been there for me. And I'm sharing those times of my fear and my trying to give up. I'm sure He was whispering, be strong and courageous. Be strong and courageous. But sometimes we're so focused on the problem. Sometimes we're so focused on that mountain that we're seeing that we can't hear the Lord. We can't hear God. We kind of just, we don't hear Him. But I just want to remind you and remind myself that I want God's words to Joshua, be strong and courageous, do not be afraid or discouraged. I want those words to ring in my ears. I know that I cannot do the things that God has called me to do on my own sometimes. I know I want to, but I know I can't. But I know I can be strong and courageous to face it. Because the God of the universe is with me. And He will never leave me nor forsake me. And He's never going to leave you nor forsake you. He's going to go with you wherever you go. He's going to be there with you in your trials, in your fears, in your problems. Be strong and courageous. Don't be broken down with fear. Just cry out to the Lord. Just let those words sink in. Today He wants to help you to achieve what maybe you haven't done in a long time. To achieve the things that you haven't been able to do on your own. Maybe the course of your life isn't the way you wanted it to go. It's taken a different direction. It's taken loops. You've hit dead ends. You've gone through a road only to make a U-turn because you were going the wrong way, and then to hit a dead end again, having to get back on the road. Okay, which way do I have to go? Even in those moments of confusion, God is there saying, be strong and courageous. Do not be afraid. Do not be afraid what is in front of you. Do not be afraid of taking that promotion. Do not be afraid of taking that job. Do not be afraid of change, because sometimes change can be good. Sometimes we hang on to things that we're so used to, things that give us that comfort zone. And sometimes God is saying, you know what? I want something better for you. But in order for that better to come to your life, it requires change. And I need to take you from here to here. Don't be afraid. I will go with you wherever you go. God has commanded us to be strong and courageous, just like he commanded Joshua, just like he commanded Moses. He gave them tasks that were very hard. It was a great responsibility, the one Moses had, to lead the Israelites out of Egypt. It was a great responsibility to lead them into the promised land. But because it was very, very hard, it was so much responsibility that, he probably just felt like, I can't do this anymore. And there was a moment in his life where he's just like, he probably just said like, this is it, I can't anymore. And in our times of desperation, what we do, we just say, I can't. I give up. I'm not going to do this anymore. And maybe that's what just happened to Moses. And so, sadly, he wasn't able to get into the promised land that the Lord had promised. But because Joshua said, okay, I will do it. I will be strong and courageous, and I will face whatever comes my way, because you're commanding me, God, because you're telling me that you're going to be with me. And so that's what Joshua did. He was able to get the Israelites into the promised land and fulfill that promise. And so it's just beautiful when we let go, when we honor God, in obedience, and we say, yes, Lord, if that's what you want me to do, take me there. And it's just beautiful. It's just beautiful to be obedient. It's just beautiful to honor God and say, yes, you are telling me to go, I will go. I don't know how I'm going to do it. I don't know how this is going to turn out. I don't know how this is going to work. But I'm going to be strong and courageous, and I'm going to go. I'm going to go where you're sending me to go, because you've commanded me to be strong and courageous, to not be afraid that you will go with me wherever I go. I hope this message has blessed you, and God is for you, never against you, and he will get you through whatever it is that you're facing. Have a blessed day.